Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. If there's something you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is a lot of clarity. This is the Queen of Swords, right? This is us able to rise above a situation. I think that there's something that's rather emotional going on with you, something that you care about, right? But something that we need to get a higher perspective on, something that we need to rise up and look down, get above the weather, right? And see what's really going on, see the bigger picture, and see if we might be able to find a path forward in something, yeah? Let's put it into some context. Let's see what's going on. This could be perhaps maybe involving an older female energy in your life. But I think we're looking for that. I mean, this kind of looks like a top-down view of something, right? This looks like we are above, we're looking down, we're seeing things in a larger context. Okay, we're not just right there down in the middle of that circle, we're seeing now a wider and wider view. Because there's a Five of Swords. There's the Chariot. There is your devil energy. That is your drive, right? That is your drive to create or destroy, right? There is your drive to connect or disconnect. There is your creative drive or your generative drive or your aggressive drive. But it's the drive, right? We're climbing up the mountain. Which one are we climbing? Well, we're getting now Ace to a Nine of Pentacles. So we're finding our way forward. We're finding really this jackpot. This is good. This is a creative drive, a generative drive. I'm having difficulty saying that word today. We've got a Five of Wands, Princess of Cups, the Hermit, yeah, and the World. Yeah, this is a cosmic jackpot, right? I think there's something that you're working on that is, obviously very physical, very, very tangible. It's something for which you want to see progress, the visible sign of progress. This is the jackpot. This is you knowing that, hey, this is working out. I'm seeing progress. Things are growing, that we are generating the outcome that we want. Okay? The outcome itself is here. Is the universe, the world itself, right? The outcome that you want is a lot of things. It is infinite. It is everything, right? This is the outcome of the generative drive. This is you generating the outcome that you want. We know that we're in the process of this and that it's working and that it's a verb, it's not a noun. This is a function, not a form, right? This is good. And what's going on with this energy, though? What's going on with this air energy, with the Five of Swords? It's either, for some of you, there's going to be this older female energy that just seems to be against you. Seems to maybe always be criticizing you. I don't know if this is a mom or an older sibling or whoever it might be. I feel like somebody is criticizing you. And somebody is trying to minimize your victories, Someone is, you have this joy in your life, this celebration of something, any attainment, I think. And someone has to I'm trying to find a word that I can say on YouTube. Somebody has something negative to say. Somebody tries to take that away from you, right? Someone has a way of of downplaying it, of minimizing it. Oh yeah, maybe, but someone so-and-so did it better. That kind of thing. Making you feel, stealing the wind from your sails, so to speak, right? Speaking of sails and wind and boats, we have the Chariot here. I think this is someone that has been involved in your life for a long time. I feel like it's something that is probably family related. Okay, and it's always difficult when we talk about family because a lot of us have this kind of obligation to our family, right? We have a commitment to our family members, the people we grew up with. We may not speak to them all the time, but if they were to call and need something, well, here we are, So it's a sensitive subject because not very many of us really have a clean break with our family, especially those of us that don't have the ideal childhood. But we do learn how to make our way. And I think you're making your way despite what this energy might be doing. And maybe this isn't even an actual person. Maybe this is just the voice in your head from childhood, that's discounting the successes that you make, or that's discouraging you, or that seems to always have something negative to say about what you're doing and about what your ideas, what your plans are. Could be that's a voice in you, right? 5 of Swords down there. I think it's something we picked up at home a long time ago. And I feel like in some way this has fortified you. It's made you stronger. Okay, but we see that you're on a path. You're in your chariot. You got your armor on. You're expecting battle, right? You're kind of expecting everything to be a challenge. It's almost like in every moment of your life, you're expecting to have to defend yourself, right? This isn't a pleasure cruise here that you're on. This is a battle. You're in your chariot, full armor. I mean, full armor, right? Everything we're ready to defend ourselves. But at least we're moving forward, right? So I think that we've, at this time in our life, I feel like we're starting to realize a lot of the defense mechanisms that we've built up from our childhood, during our childhood, really, most of us. And so that's kind of some introspective work. That's kind of the spiritual side of things that we're trying to learn a little bit about that. They have served you well. Because now I think we're making this progress. And if we look at the overview, the Chariot is finding that bigger picture, finding the path, able to cut the path through the jungle here because you're getting this higher perspective. You have this bird's eye view of things. And now you can see how to get out of this maze, right? My daughter, she's almost 4. She loves mazes, She loves tracing the path through the maze. And that's kind of what this reminds me of. We're finding our way through the maze to the visible signs of progress. We can see things are happening. I can see my bank account number getting a little bit higher every month. I can see this business is getting a little bit closer to being done. This car that I'm building is getting a little bit closer day by day. A little bit more is being done. Maybe it's financial, maybe it's physical health, maybe this is in terms of your relationships. This is a jackpot that no one can take away from you. Because this is your experience of success. This is you generating the energy that you want, generating the life, generating the outcome that you want. This is the generation of it, right? It's a 9. It's all about the generative function. The world at the end, this is the outcome itself. Now, when we say that no one can take it away from you, well, if we put all of our value in that object, that I built something, see? Someone can take that away from us. That will eventually decay, or it will break, or crumble, or wear out, or we'll lose it, or someone will snatch it. Yeah, someone can steal the wind from our sails in that way by literally taking that away. But when we're looking at the 9 and the universe card, no one can take this away from you. Because this is something that is fundamental to your being. This is your drive and ambition. This is your generation of the outcome that you want. And even the outcome is so it's so non-corporeal. It's not really tangible, right? It's not just, I got $5, someone can steal it. I can lose it, I can spend it, now I don't have it. Now I'm sad, you know. The outcome is something that is much more subtle, you know. It's infinite. It is everywhere and it is nothing. So how can anybody interfere with that? Right? No one can take this away from you. People can thwart your physical progress, right? There can be obstacles. There can be challenges in terms of, you know, securing the finances or calling the vendors or, you know, making the right connections, or there could be traffic on the road when you're trying to get to the meeting. There's stuff like that. But that's not taking away from your progress. That's not taking away from this kind of infinite outcome. It's very real, but it's also very unreal. Yeah. It's not so easy to pin down that it's just we put everything into one object. Anything happens to that object, well then I'm screwed, you know. But with this older energy that I'm feeling, I feel like it has that energy. I'm not going to blame it on a person. I don't know the person. I don't know if it is a particular person. But this energy is really, it's a force that is trying to kind of demoralize you in a way. Right? Make you kind of feel internally that I can't do it, I'm not doing it, it's not working, it's not going to work, it's pointless, it's hopeless, I don't know why I'm even here, might as well just turn around and go home. Right? It's a loss of morale. Okay. But we're counteracting that with that intense drive, right? And we have to be careful that this drive does not become an aggressive drive, to where we are then feeling our own success by pushing other people down. Okay? We don't want to do that. That leads us over here to the Five of Wands, because the Five of Wands is the expression of our drive. This is us striving in the world, reaching out to influence the world around us in some way, for better or for worse. We all do it. We're all human beings. We're all conscious, manifested beings, right? Spiritual beings having a human experience. We're all here affecting the world. Even those of us that try to be as passive as possible, we're still breathing oxygen, right? It's still me imposing my will over gravity, right? Over the inertia of my own weight and body and I don't know, the microbes in the air and that sort of thing. It's my own gut battling, you know, the good and bad bacteria battling each other, right? So we're all striving in the world, but are we striving in this generative way to create something, to build something up? And if we are, at what expense? You know, are we feeling better about ourselves because we're pushing other people down? Well, that's not really a generative drive, because I don't feel as if stepping on other people to rise higher is really us creating anything. If anything, it's a lot of destruction for very little creation. It's not a good trade-off, right? It's too much entropy getting into the system. So we have to regulate our Five of Wands, right? We have to have our drive, and we have to strive, and we have to influence the world around us. And I think you're doing so in a way that is creative, that is meant to make the world a better place in some way, shape, or form, right? It's something that extends beyond you. So even if somebody attacks you, they cannot attack what you've done, the influence that you've had on the world, that positive influence, right? It's beautiful energy. It's really, really good. And I think that you're doing all this despite the fact that there's this older energy that is really attempting to demoralize you. But see, this is not very significant part of the reading today. And I realize that we haven't done the mystery card. Let's do that now. We're halfway through the reading already. This is the factor infinite and unknown. This is the confirmation card. We're going to set it aside over here. We're going to put Alien Simon Moore Gripley right there on top. Now, Aquarius, we're not going to look at that card until the very end. but it will, give us the confirmation we need. It will tie everything up, right? If you have a prediction about that card, put it in the comments. Let's do it together. Let's exercise our intuition, right? Our higher mind. So, in a very obvious way, we have major, 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 and major. Now, this is the Hermit and the World, right? And it's kind of the Hermit that is, the Hermit is part of the world, but not part of the world. It's kind of like we're keeping our creation separate from us so that it is kind of air-gapped from any kind of negative force, that people can attack us, that we can, despite what's going on with us personally, our effects are still out in the world, and we're still making a difference in a way, yeah. We have our fire, we have our water, we have our air, we have our earth. I think the air energy is very important because it's the way this is what is representing you rising above all of this, whatever the negative energy was or is still. Rising above that voice in our head, that negative self-talk, right? That may be an echo of our childhood. It may be someone who is actively kind of, against you right now, right? Somebody that's kind of always trying to take away from what you're doing or what you're accomplishing, the naysayers, right? It may be a particular person, but maybe not. But this is you rising above that. See, this is water and air. You're rising above the emotion, rising above that stuff, and being able to see it for what it is. Oh yeah, that's just a little voice in my head. That's not that significant. We're just maybe turning the volume down on it a little bit. Maybe we could switch the radio off altogether, It's not easy, but maybe we could. And we're not letting that negative voice influence us. Instead, we are finding our way through the maze, and we're getting to this feeling of making a difference, making an impact, generating something. Yeah, we're doing the work here. Right? And this is not the product that gets spit out at the other end, because there really isn't one. Right? It's just by you doing and it doesn't, maybe there is literally a product. I don't know, maybe you're doing something on Etsy or you're making YouTube videos or something. I don't know. Whatever it is you're doing, I'm sure there's some kind of product thing at the end. There's some kind of result, right? But that's not where the importance lies. And I always say it's not really about what you're doing, but how and why. And this is that how and why. That generative force, that drive in you, that ambition in you, that creative will in you. And I think we're rising above the tumult, and we're finding the way through the maze to get to this feeling that we're generating something, right? That we are in the middle of this work, this productive life, this active life. And when I say productive, I'm not trying to say that the only value that you have is in what you produce. No, I think the value itself is that feeling. I don't care what comes out the end of the machine. I'm interested in the machine, how it works, how it feels doing the work that it does, right? Because you have this ambition. This is your striving. You want to climb a mountain, and I don't think it matters where in the world that mountain is. Maybe you like to climb in all kinds of weather, right? Tall mountains, short mountains, right? But you aspire. You have goals, you have ambition, you have a drive. I want to do quickly one Metatron Oracle to see if we can get maybe kind of a counteraction to that Five of Swords. This is a new Oracle pack I just got. I'm sure it's been around for a while, but I haven't really connected with it so much yet. But we'll try it out for a few readings and see if we like it. You can let me know what you think. It's the Metatron, I think it's Metatron Oracle cards, something like that. That's the one. Gold, Cup of Replenishment. I like that. I think that's beautiful imagery anyway. The gold cup of refreshment. It does look beautiful on camera, doesn't it? And I think this is that intangible jackpot that no one can take away from you, right? It reminds me of an Ace of Cups, of course. And I feel like this is that, well, I mean, now I'm starting to think heart of gold, right? But this is that valuable feeling. This is the feeling that you are valuing yourself, you're valuing your activities, your work in the world. Not your career, not your job, not what you do for money, not the product you're selling. You value your effort. You value your presence in the world, your influence and impact in the universe. You value your place in the universe. There is this wellspring of love and joy and beauty in you, and it is infinite. We see the lemniscate up top there, that upside down, that sideways 8. It's infinity. It's not so tangible. You can't pin it down anywhere. It is everywhere, right? And so this is that satisfaction, that love for self, that love for universe, that no one can take away from you. This is the jackpot. No one can take this from you. Okay? They can tear down the walls of your building. They can smash the vase that you made in pottery class or whatever. I took ceramics. I made a shoe. I took wood shop. I made one of those things that you pull the oven racks out with. It was a little fish with a little hook, and you can pull and push the hot oven racks in and out. I was very proud of that. I don't know where it is now, but it doesn't take away the satisfaction, the joy, and the love that I feel for having worked on something and made and done something. As insignificant as that seems to everybody else. And I'm sure it got thrown away somewhere. Maybe it's broken. Maybe it's still at my parents' house. I don't know. But it's not the point. I don't care about that thing. It's not like, oh, I need it. I'm baking. I need something to pull the thing out with. It's disposable, right? But the experience is not. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going here. We're running out of time. It's getting late. We talked about the 5 of wands here. And I think it's important that we are able to regulate our drive, or that we're able to modulate it in such a way that it doesn't become an aggressive drive, that we don't start kind of trampling over other people to get kind of up the mountain, and that we kind of we're able to slow our pace when we need to. Because that's kind of the extreme, we can go either way. We can either have too much of this aggressive 5 of wands, or too little of it. When we have a 5 of swords, very often it gives us an extreme of the fire energy. Okay? Because if there was some history in our lives of people telling us we can't, we shouldn't, we're no good, pushing us down, 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 kind of always being negative, right, or offering some kind of negative opinion about what we're doing, then sometimes it really takes away our aggressive drive, because we fall for this, we believe it. Other times it leads to an extreme of the aggressive drive. And this 5 of wands becomes a 10 of wands, where we're just out there as a tyrant, stepping over everybody, right? But you've got the 5. So it's kind of saying we're in the middle, we're okay. There's not too much, there's not too little. It's just the right amount, right? And what you have also in the environment is an opportunity to really dream, use your imagination. I think this is also a card about following signs and symbols, following the synchronicities of life. The Princess of Cups. It's in the environment. And this is really a manifestation of your dream. We're realizing that in a way that the objects that we produce don't really matter, right? The physical object that I create is disposable. I'm not going to throw it. I'll break something. It's kind of heavy. Those things are disposable because our imagination, our dream life, our soul existence, our internal reality and landscape is so active. There's always something new. As soon as we get close to being done with something, we're already on to the next idea. We're in that generative mode. And the results of that, the pieces that get thrown off from that, the little ceramic shoe or the flower pot or, the little wooden fish thing, those are just kind of meaningless. Those are almost forgotten about in this drive, this striving to continue this creative process. Because your imagination is so active. There's no limit to what. There's going to be a million ceramic shoes everywhere. And that's why you can destroy them. It doesn't matter if you destroy that. You're not taking anything away from me. Because this is a much more spiritual energy than this kind of whatever the negative force is, whatever that is. It's on a different plane. This is something so much higher, so much deeper, so much more meaningful. It's immune to that kind of attack, But then now we're on to the hermit and the universe. The hermit is kind of protecting itself, but also shining its light. I think that you are a reluctant example for others. I think that you tend to light the way for people, Aquarius, even at those times in your life where you don't want to, or you don't feel that you should, or that you can, or that you're worthy of it, or we're tired, But you're a lamp for the rest of us. And I think right now the struggle for you is to kind of get out of hermit mode. I think that we're coming out of this period of real introspection. I think that you're starting to assess these defense mechanisms that we've established maybe during childhood. You're getting this bird's eye view of life. You're finding your way out of the maze. And I think the hermit's just about ready to kind of re-enter the world, to kind of remove the cloak and just be that shining sun that you are, right out in the universe here. And I think your life is really going in a very special direction, And it's kind of, it's everywhere and nowhere. It's wherever you are, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing. It matters how and why. Let's look at the mystery card. The factor infinite and unknown. Maybe an ace of cups, right? It may be, I don't know what else we even really need. Maybe we need the sun. Maybe we need the star, your power card. Then I get to ring the bell, right? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Here we go. The Ace of Swords. Yeah, this is perfect, right? Right on time too, because we have that Five of Swords, right? And we're saying that we're getting this bird's eye view of things to find our way out of the maze. It's not just in a physical way, like, okay, what do I do next in my life, in my work, in this very terrestrial, earthy, practical way? But no, it's how do I get my way out of the mental maze, the maze of all this entanglement with this past negative energy, these defense mechanisms, right? So we have both the gross and the subtle. We have above and below here. We have all layers of the onion in this reading, yeah. So I think the Ace of Swords is the perfect confirmation card, the perfect mystery card, because then it gives us the way out of the internal maze, and the Ace of Pentacles gives us the way out of the earthy external maze. Finding the way out, finding the way forward in life, within and without. It's really good. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's one down below. New readings for Aquarius Thursday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost you anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.